Welcome back. We are here for episode 3 of Once More Into the Void by Rae Nedjadi. We are continuing onward with our narrative of our wonderful crew that is trying to, well, aiming to reconnect after all this time. And, we're going to be facing off against the enemy sometime soon, maybe. We'll see. and
Already
hopefully we
facing
make
off
it.
and we don't even realize it.
Yep,
That's
exactly.
how bad we're losing.
Well, I mean, hey, we're looking at the card stack and just going, oh shit. But
I mean,
anyway,
that's how I feel about my card stack right now.
I know we're
For
just
sure.
we'll see how this goes. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the mini game. And again, James, go ahead and make the suggestion, and go ahead and read the title and the
Mhm.
prompt for the mini game to
Cool.
get started.
So I propose we started with a training montage, which was an all parties one. Then we were, this is just me recapping for the video. We had just like old times, then who we once were, and who do you think you are. So we're going to go back into the all people, and we're going to do. I suggest that we do what we built without you, which is another which I will read. The subtitle for it is "This is what we could lose," and it's a mini game for everyone, and it's about exploring a sanctuary that was built while the captain and crew were torn apart. And everyone will interact with a community that reflects the crew member who helped build it. And this is a chance for the crew to remember who and what they're fighting for. Now, the first thing we have to do is decide who has the most to lose. And they describe the private sanctuary. Do we have any? I think do we have any sense of who has the most to lose?
Private sanctuary that will offers peace, respite, and recovery. Ew.
Yeah,
Um, it's like part of me wants to say the captain has the most to lose.
that
Wow.
feels right from the first session, but I'm not sure. What do you
What
reckon?
what do I actually have to lose though? I mean
Yeah,
I
Well, I
mean
mean, if this is the moment of what the crew built while you were gone,
mm,
then it feels like this is a moment where, like, has the crew fully committed to you being the captain again? Because considering I was thinking of it more from the perspective of
oh
how
okay.
we are breaking up, we came back together,
Mm,
and this is like one of these things showing like people hadn't stopped moving forward just
mm,
yeah.
because you had left.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I think in this case, even though it says crew member and we established the captain is
yeah,
a crew
yeah,
member,
sure.
I think do we think it means everyone, the other people that were not while the captain and the crew were torn apart, or
Yeah,
is it
because
using?
because if you look further in, it says the character who owns the sanctuary. It's
Mm,
Okay, yeah,
basically
that
like
makes
the
more
the
sense.
crew member who helped build it.
yeah,
Yeah,
So it,
that makes a lot more sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make
Uh,
sense too.
yeah.
mm,
So I think maybe it could be actually it could be what's the how's the name pronounced? That's
Caviscado.
Caviscado. Because when we met him, he was pretty chill, right? He was
Yeah, he was
doing
he was
good
enjoying
about,
himself at the resort. Maybe he had
yeah,
like a secret
yeah.
stash.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he has something to lose. Maybe we don't know it.
Yeah.
I mean, with all of you, all of us, we don't know what happened in the last few years. So everybody of us could have a lot to
yeah.
lose.
And also just in terms of like a logic thing, I get from the way we set it up, I think the Tesseract's essentially been in science jail for a lot of this
Mm,
time. So
Oh.
Hmm.
I think Caviscado would
mm,
be a good candidate for this one,
mm,
if you're okay with that, Maz.
Sure, sure. Okay. Well, I mean that actually makes sense. It's like, you
mm,
saw him at the resort,
mm,
like, just trying to take some respite. Maybe he built this thing and he just kind of wanted it to just like, kind of be self-sufficient for the most part. Um, but I think,
Yeah. I mean, this might not have been built for the express purpose of, one day starting to fight again. This could have been something they built just them trying to move on with their life, and now it would potentially be put in risk if we're claiming it as, like, say, our new headquarters or something.
Yeah.
Because if it
For
was built as
well,
a
I mean, like
sanctuary, it wasn't built to continue the fight, right?
yeah, and I think yeah, Caviscado has got to come clean, because if this is okay, so all right, so picking the sanctuary, I think because of the next question that's prompted here, it's a free medical clinic that Caviscado established for the wronged and desperate, because hold on, what haven't I revealed about about its existence before this moment? And everyone decides what setback, complication, or severe injury forces us to find a safe place to recover. So, yeah, I mean, I think we need to know what the setback, complication, or severe injury is before I say, like, what I'm revealing about its existence. Like, maybe that I even had this thing, like, you know, that this is my baby that I established since we broke, uh, since the crew went its separate ways, maybe.
I
But I
mean,
mean, like, what?
perhaps a logical way, because the enemy stacked up so many cards, maybe we could kind of begin in media res with a kind of, for want of a better term, a kind of hard move by the enemy that
Sure.
forces us into hiding. Because, like, that sort of represents the fact the cards are really stacking up against us right now.
Yeah, that's
Cards
good.
are they? There are 7 enemy cards, and I think we have a lot more on our side. So
Well, I
Well,
mean, maybe they
yeah,
forced us to go to ground, at least in
yeah,
this
yeah.
I mean,
particular instance.
sure. I'm just confused about this. That we're in a bad position card wise.
Mm,
Are we?
Not really, actually. It's a lot better than it was last time I looked at
Yeah,
it.
we
You
had
did you
we
did
drew
good.
all the we
Yeah.
drew all the blacks last time. So
Nice. Okay, so maybe
I mean,
how could we sort of narratively represent that? I mean, yeah.
we
So
could still be in trouble.
yeah. Or maybe it's been going so well that then suddenly, there's a sort of, something happens that swings and then we have to sort of hide or seek refuge.
Yeah.
We don't have weapons yet, so maybe that's something that we need to rectify.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
I
mean, if
mean, and
someone's
also,
injured, we don't necessarily have to be in a bad position. We
yeah,
don't have the ability to heal the injury, so we have
yeah,
to find something.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
that
think
makes sense.
that's maybe the best suggestion.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so basically, the Gilded Bliss doesn't have that we created the name for the ship. Gilded Bliss is so for the recording. So the Gilded Bliss still doesn't have weapons yet. So we
No,
were gone to ground, or
And maybe the conversation begins with a really depressing meeting where perhaps while you've been doing your previous scenes that you've plugged the Tesseract into the ship and it's and just a readout of just how few things are fully functional or loaded out on the ship
yeah,
forces you to confront the fact that it needs like to be retrofitted basically.
yeah, and also we burned through a lot of fuel when we took off,
yeah, that's
so
true.
we need
Yeah,
to refuel
which the
anyway.
blame was going to Calviscotta's door anyhow. Yay! So it's fine. All right. So, each crew member describes what has changed about them since we last saw them. During this visit to the sanctuary, anyone may ask for details about locations, relationships, or circumstances. So, yeah, Cavscato didn't tell you guys until uh, at this point that he had this sanctuary that we could go to at least kind of hide out until we could get more um, uh, supplies and God, full retrofitting. Shit, what's this gonna cost?
I still think there's still some money on my sister's credit card, and I also have my own, which is pretty depleted by now. But I can take up credits because of the Quinlan name and consequences, right?
All right, all
I
right,
think
all
I
right.
think the Tesseract will just say, I estimate with our current equipment, we have a 0 to 30% chance of success in our chosen mission.
And 30% chance isn't that bad.
Yeah, I don't
Cap
see where 30% is coming from. We don't even have weapons.
the 30% factored in the fact that were you to stand on the hull of the ship and fire your personal sidearms, you may have some chance of defeating the
All
enemy.
right, all right. I get it. All right, fine. Look. I got a place, all right? We can get the Gilded Bliss retrofitted for whatever junk you need, whatever contacts you want to try and get some shit put on this boat. And then I have a place we can go and just hide out if need be. Nobody knows that I have it. Not even you, Captain.
Okay. That would be cool, I guess. Yeah. I mean, if we have a better chance and don't have to stand on the hull because we have magnetic boots, I'm pretty sure. I'm not so sure about the evac suits.
That's another point, Captain. My analysis also suggests that there's a not insignificant chance that the EV suits are not fully airtight and will not hold their seal for a sustained period of time. Therefore, there is a very good chance that even if we had the 30% chance of defeating an enemy, you would not survive the encounter.
Okay, let's go to this place, I guess, if you're okay with that, Caviscado, and retrofit this lovely lady here.
Yeah, we evidently don't have much choice, Captain. Ugh, all right. And, Cyrano will. I'm Cyrano. You're Cyrano.
I'm
Um,
Syrano. You're
Cav,
Caviscado.
yeah, Caviscado will direct where we can bring the bliss, and then we'll have you go down several different alleyways and such in this particular town or whatever city we are on, and we come out into this courtyard of sorts, and it's actually pretty immaculate for the kind of grimy surroundings we were in previously, like to duck around and on the alleyways to get to this place. And on the placard for the place, I'm trying to think of like a decent name. I love names, but it's like I'm drawing a blank at the moment.
How about just Eden?
Nah, because it's like it's just yeah. I think it's something like that it just plain print or whatever. It says something like resting bones, and
Ooh.
it looks like a hospital. Um but again, it's like it's kept very immaculate. You hear the sound of running water, and it's got like kind of like a what do they call them? Like a water element like running alongside it, like it looks like a built fountain of sorts, to just kind of give like a kind of like a water feature to it. And you smell like fresh greenery somewhere, but you don't see it. Welcome to the Resting Bones, people. I've got to speak to the current proprietor. But we can come here and rest for a little bit while we see about getting the bliss retrofitted. And yeah, so I have to owns the sanctuary. Choose a price to pay. Sorry. So I lead the crew to an old friend, ally, or family member who can aid in the crew's recovery. What do I need help with? Think. They'll help freely, but you must give them what they truly want. I think the current proprietor, the one who does the day-to-day stuff for the Resting Bones, is an old pilot friend of mine. And I think Caviscado owes Tate an overdue sign of affection, too little, too late. You know, Tate knows that knows that Caviscado's here because, as usual, they want something. But, you know, and also realizes that Caviscado's only going to be able to do what Caviscado normally does, which is try to play nice about it, and, you know, maybe realizes that they're being a shit, maybe not, who knows. But anyway, yeah, I think you'll see Caviscado greet somebody who looks like they're run the place, official looking, kind of like in a uniform, and tries to do, you know, signs of tenderness, and it looks like the person is not having any of it at the moment. So, and the player whose character is most nervous about the sanctuary takes the first turn. On your turn, choose a moment to play out with another crew member. And then when everyone's had a turn, decide if you share another moment or if the visit will come to an end. Okay? So,
once I see you greeting this person so tenderly, I think Syrano will get a little nervous. Or a lot nervous, but not talking about that.
yeah. So this place, just so I can describe it for everybody, the Resting Bones is like, you know, basically a place for recuperation. Like, you'll see some down and out people here, but I mean, like, this place does not remind them of their particular circumstances. Like, it tries to make them as comfortable as possible. It tries to, you know, give them accessible, again, circumstances. I mean, if they need healing, they'll have healing. If they need, like, you know, some kind of, like, you know, physical help, then there's facilities here for that. So it's about health, and it's also about recuperation and rehabilitation. So, yeah. And yeah, I mean, maybe Tate will also, while dismissing Caviscado for the moment, I mean, like, we'll come up to the rest of you and you know, greet you. Hello. So, Denale tells me that you need a place to stay for a time. You are always welcome here, as are others. Just tell us what you need, and we will do our best to accommodate you for the time that you have. She is a tall person. Actually, no. She's a shortish femme-presenting person. Her skin is a pale blue, and her hair is a stark orange color. And she just has a clipboard in one hand, and then also a readout in another. And then she seems to have a prehensile tail that she uses to kind of, like, you know, help balance her out, because she has I don't know, I can't just remember the description for those kind of legs that are kind of, they bend but go backwards and then down, like in a zigzag.
Oh yeah, like a horse or whatever. Yeah, I don't remember either, but I know
Yeah.
what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
The player whose character is most nervous about the sanctuary takes the first turn. So Syrano said that they were the most nervous.
Okay.
Yeah, Syrano's super nervous.
Choose a moment, play.
So, choose a
And
moment.
I will choose a moment. I would like to choose a moment with a Tesseract, but I don't know which scene. I mean, there is a scene that would be pretty good, but I don't know if we start with that. Oh, whatever. You know what? I am snooping around because I'm a little, and you will notice this, Tesseract, because I'm not hiding it from you. And Syrano seems to almost eager to find something that would maybe tell us to leave again for whatever reason. And yeah, and I think and then they find some, and then they will turn. I think they will turn a corner, and there's this. If you don't mind me describing this, there's this old temple that seems a little derelict. And as Cyrano snoops around there, they will find a cache of fearsome weapons. And the terrible secret is that these weapons seem to be in pretty good shape, actually. And so that's probably a terrible secret too, because that can't be legal. And they will turn towards you, Tesseract, and say, "Look at that. That does not seem like something you'd usually have in a hospital, right?"
I think the Tesseract kind of hovers over them a bit, and after a sort of slightly too long amount of time says, "These have been prepared for immediate use. Someone set this up so they could run in here and pick them up at a moment's notice. This is a
So,
secret arsenal for this place."
so you think it's a trap as well?
I think that whoever put this here is expecting an attack imminently.
Huh. Yeah. Well, yeah, the question is, oh yeah, okay. I mean, and where's, do you think maybe we should, this could be, I mean, this is in a quarter of people who live here. If this gets loose, that could, well, destroy quite a lot of things, right? Should we maybe, I don't know if we should sound the alarm on this. And I mean,
Captain, it occurs to me that we are here because Caviscado has taken us to a medical facility to find weapons for a spaceship. They clearly have other hidden, there's obviously some kind of military side to this place. I think we should perhaps trust Caviscado to tell us what we need to know. I'm inclined to not say anything at this stage.
oh, yeah, what do you think is going on with Caviscado and this Tate guy anyway? I mean, they seem awfully close, right? You're good at analytics, right?
I think when one has fought for as long as Caviscado has, and against as many enemies, having a contingency plan inside a contingency plan is second nature. I think Caviscado prepares for war in the same way that others breathe.
So this is not personal or anything, right? It's just like utilitarian.
That would be my assessment. There are clearly other things in this place hidden out of sight, perhaps beneath this temple, that need to be protected. I'm inclined to think that exposing them would be counterproductive at this time.
Okay, I guess you might. I mean,
I know one thing, Captain. Caviscado believes in you, and I believe that we should in turn believe in Caviscado.
yeah, I guess he believes in me. They believe in me, I guess. Yeah, sure. Kicks one of the weapons like a little peevishly. and says, "Well, you are probably right. I'm probably making a mess out of things, but I was just worried. Thanks for talking me down here to the Tesseract. Right? You don't insist on the Tesseract, and I know I've asked you before, but
Humans have a tendency to call me the Tesseract, which is
Okay.
funny because I in fact have no name. I am the Tesseract. It is a description of me. It has become my name through association, but I have no name.
Would you like to have a name?
What utility would a name have at this stage in my existence?
I don't.
And that's like half a question and half a kind of slightly sarcastic statement.
Well, I don't know. I mean, this is not a question of would you like one?
After a sort of slightly too long pause, no one has ever asked me that, Captain.
Okay.
I will think on this.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you. Okay. I think that's the scene, right? Oh, we don't need to draw cards here, right? We draw
Not
cards
until the end, I don't think. Until the end of the scene proper,
okay.
yeah.
Not until the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Lovely.
It can be anyone now, right?
Yeah, pretty much anyone.
I do have an idea actually, because one thing we wanted was we haven't had an Asher Tesseract thing, so I have an idea for that.
Cool. Yeah, go for it. Like I said, push pull. Caviscado's just like, wandering around trying to talk to Tate a little bit and being a butt.
I think what happens is when we return to the sort of more public area of the sanctuary, Asher is in the process of being mobbed by a large group of children. Some of them are orange and blue as well. Some of them are humans, like a lot of different children. Some of them are sort of slightly urchin-esque, and some of them a bit more sort of, look a bit more sort of prim and proper. But they're all just poking at Asher and saying, "Wow, you're really big," and like, "Wow, that's a lot of buckles," and "Is that a gun?" and "Is that another gun?" And they're all just like, and I think the Tesseract turns up and says, "Asher, you appear to have made some friends."
So Usher kind of like squints at the friends he allegedly has made, and I almost looked like I reflectively looked around for the captain to deal with this, but they are nowhere to be seen.
I think I'm supposed to be the one that has to try and form a connection, but so I might just set it up to say
Okay.
like sort of go like come up and say to the children, because they seem really interested in you, but then I think the Tesseract comes up and they all sort of like flinch back, and the Tesseract says, "Hello, children. Is everyone having fun? I think that this is fun. I think that we are having a fun conversation and basically like a sort of how do you do fellow kids, fellow kid, thing." And Asher just watches as they all like look at the Tesseract, and one of them says, "What are you? Why are you so sparkly?" And one of them like puts their hand through the Tesseract and says, "I can't feel my fingers." And I think the question it says is, do you help me form a sincere connection, or are you content to watch me flounder?
Oh man, part of me wants to watch you flounder, but I think at some point it's like Asher would probably say something to like Tesseract. Why don't you show them some of your like maybe you have some like hologram or some other technology that that might impress them. I can't think of what it might be right now.
I think maybe I can do a kind of 2001 Space Odyssey light show and like lots of different colors.
Mm-hmm.
and the equivalent of that kind of noise. I can't remember what that's from, but basically I can just make a like, and they're all like, whoa. And one of them says, this hurts my eyes, and looks away. But they're mostly impressed, I think. Some of them are more like disturbed or hypnotized, but some of them look pretty impressed.
As children are. But I think, I imagine that they kind of are. There's at least a handful of them that are just less like fully invested now that you've created like this like holographic display.
I think we see a little scene of one of them, and you can see like a girl who's one of the blue and orange species, and you can see the lights flickering in her eyes, and you can just see her saying, wow, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Are you magic? And the Tesseract says, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic, children.
Yeah, and I think Asher will probably, after all of it's over, he's just like, okay, that's enough fun for now, kids, y'all, and like shoo them off so they'll not continue to like harass the Tesseract.
I saw what you did, Asher. Thank you for making me approachable.
No, you're plenty approachable. Just sometimes dealing with kids can be hit or miss. You just made a suggestion. You did everything else on your own.
You made me a person to them.
Yeah. I think I may have also made you a television to them, but hopefully they won't they might not be back for more.
If my choice is between abstract, terrifying entity and talking television with a personality, I'll take the latter.
That's fair enough. Fair enough.
And I think that's probably a good place to cut that one.
Yeah.
I think with being rebuffed by Tate at every turn, I think Caviscado will resign themselves to preparing a meal for everyone at the sanctuary. It is something that I don't think anybody else really knows that they have done or does. And I think maybe the captain will come upon Caviscado, and I ask of Syrano, do you offer to make conversation and draw us closer, or do you tease me mercilessly in front of everyone as you watch me go to, or like in the galley of Resting Bones, right? And then maybe you see me, like maybe you watch from the door. And this place is kind of like where it has like multiple burners, obviously, because it's like it serves like a lot of people. And it's got multiple ovens, and like just all sorts of different places for cooking different things. And like you see Denale like just like slap some different trays into the ovens, like kind of like chopping up things, and like pretty much making like these baked casserole type of deals that can feed a lot of people all at once, because it's what they know how to do. And like chopping up things, like putting things, sprinkling seasonings on these pans, on the food on the pans, and then like maybe boiling things on the burners or whatever. And finally, like manages to see you watching them.
Yeah,
And
kind of hovering, like
yeah, like and
what
just
when you take out a knife, looking like this could be interesting now, and no, just chopping onions. Huh? What's he doing?
yeah.
Trying to figure out what you're doing by watching you, not really understanding, I guess, what you're actually doing until I mean, they're not totally naive, so they will get it at some point, and then he will call out and say, "Are you actually making food?"
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
we need to. There's a there's a bunch of people that are still here and you know, recovering and such. Tate was
Yeah.
saying like dinner time's almost here, so
Oh, Tate was
figured I'd
saying.
make some food.
Yeah, I mean, since Tate's not here, maybe I don't know. Can I help you in any way? I mean, most of what I can probably do is attack these onions with my sword, but I I don't know how to cook, clearly.
I'd be worried that you'd be cutting yourself with these knives, Captain.
I can cut, I can handle a knife.
Can you?
Of course I can.
No,
Proceeds to.
not stabbing me or stabbing yourself. I mean,
No, no,
cutting the.
no.
Okay,
No, no,
all
no.
right.
I understand that I'm not supposed to cut myself or anything. I'm cutting this onion and kind of
Okay.
hits the onion full force. I mean, the onion is definitely in two halves. Might be a little forceful. They're not supposed to fly away, I guess. Yeah, I'm learning.
No, no.
I'm messing this up again.
No, no, just smaller, smaller,
Yeah,
like
okay,
this,
okay.
like here, and
Uh-huh.
then Denali will show you like taking the two halves of the onion that have like escaped
Mm.
you, and like put them on the cutting board gently, and then we'll show you the knife to use, and then like chop them up and such, and like we'll show,
Oh,
like this, like like do
oh,
one
okay.
half and then have like give you
Mm-hmm.
the other half, and then like hand you the knife
Yeah.
handle out to you with a
Mm-hmm.
flourish and say, okay, you give it a shot now. Show me that you can do this.
No, I can do this. And I think he will cut the onion pretty well, actually. For all his faults, he has a good hand-eye coordination,
Yes.
and he does this, and he does the one onion, and that's fine. The second onion, of course, he will cut himself, but he's like, oh, it's not bad, it's just, I'll get a Band-Aid. This is a hospital. They have a Band-Aid.
Yeah, hold on. And then like, he whips out like one of the tea towel things that are in the kitchen always. And then he will like, come on, come over here. And then
Yeah.
he'll have you like rinse off the cut. It's not a big cut, but I mean like,
No,
just has
no,
you
it's,
rinse off the cut in the sink, and then he'll kind of like, dab at your hand. He's got a gentle touch, even with like
mm,
the cybernetic hand that he has. And
mm, mm.
he's just kind of like, uh, just kind of like making sure that it's not bleeding anymore, or like he's gonna put pressure on it until it stops bleeding, and
Yeah,
then
I
like
think
kind of
it's basically just a little cut. It's not the big
yeah,
one. You can just put,
he's gonna pull out the
put,
gauze and stuff like that
yeah.
that's in the drawer,
Mhm.
like he knows it is and such. Don't get to cook much at home, do ya?
No, I have people to do that for me, obviously.
I figured, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Whereas I've had to cook for myself for quite some time.
I guess that's the, I guess that's good. I mean, back where we lived, I just got takeout, or Asher got takeout usually.
Okay, all right. I mean, to each his own.
I
Some
did, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm messing things up
people.
again. Let me cut another onion. I promise
No,
I won't cut myself
no,
again.
these are enough. I just had to
Oh,
sprinkle enough for the top of
okay.
this 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 bake.
Okay, okay.
Why are you apologizing? What are you saying sorry for?
I mean, you told me I shouldn't cut myself, and I did, so
Yeah, but you just needed to be taught how.
yeah, and I messed up as a pupil, so I apologize. That's what you do, right?
No, I mean you just go on and do it. Practice till you get better,
Oh, well, okay.
and you make mistakes, and just keep at it until you. If you want to get better at this, then fine. I mean, I suppose you can cut something else.
Yeah,
I'll give you
like,
some potatoes or whatever. But I mean,
okay.
or are you apologizing for something else?
Looks at you, thinks, no, I'm apologizing for bleeding over your onions.
Okay. All right.
It's not the truth, of course, but
I mean, he just looks at you with those blue eyes.
yeah. Actually, I think so. What's my name? Syrano actually gives this. Yeah, see, looking into your blue eyes, he forgets his name. He gives this little sigh, and says, well, yeah, and then starts to blush and cuts the potatoes.
Hey, you don't have to help if you don't want to. This is something I do for Tate when I'm here because I want to.
And if I didn't want to be here, I wouldn't be, right?
All right. I mean, I'm the one who.
If you don't want me here,
no. What is with you? I would not be, well, back on that boat that we're trying to get parts for if I didn't want to be there. If I didn't think you wanted me there. I mean, you hauled ass over to the resort. I mean, yeah, you could have stayed and enjoyed yourself for a day or two, but I mean, you still came by and then you sought me out for some weird ass reason. You needed like an old codger to join the group again. I don't know why, but.
And Syrano looks at the potatoes, cutting them, and says, "I told you why." And I think then at this moment something has to interrupt us, right?
Sure. I mean, if somebody else wants to come in and like, you know, and get in on the action, that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, like basically we smell the smells of cooking. We like the things baking in the whatever. I mean, like there's one pan that's waiting to be put into the oven, and like the potatoes are not on the bake. So, I mean, if we think somebody's coming in to interrupt, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, or maybe just a pan or some pot is beeping or something.
Oop, and then like okay, so then like one of the pots is boiling over. It's like
yeah,
shit, one of the sauces. All right. Oh
yeah.
crap. Gotta clean this up.
Yeah.
And then like as he's cleaning up the mess, Denale will just look at you and say, I'm glad we have this time to just get some rest before whatever shit goes down, Captain.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Me too. It's gonna be fine. I mean, we had a 30% chance even without this.
Yeah, I like my odds a little better than that.
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah, absolutely. And there will be.
Yeah, we can end the scene there.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's next? What scene do we want next? Actually, I think I would like Caviscado to have a scene with Tess, but I don't know where.
I mean, it's possible the cache of messages one might be a fun one.
Which one? Oh, personal key. Okay.
Yeah, second down from the bottom on the right.
Okay. Do you have any particular ones that you I mean, like, do you think that this is something that Tess finds, or do you think that this is something that Denale discovers later? What do you think?
Not really sure.
I mean, because you know, funnily enough, it could be either, because I mean, like, you know, Tess could be like downloading stuff or whatever from the entertainment system in this place, or you know, maybe it's something Denale finds. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I kind of like the idea that in the process of, like, you know, overseeing the sort of retrofit of the the ship, the Gilded Bliss. I sort of, you like maybe Caviscado comes in and finds the Tesseract at a console, sort of, and you see that there's like a bunch of like the Tesseract has just found, yeah, like this massive cache of messages that have never, like there's hundreds of them and they've never been sent to anyone. They all just say like draft, 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 and they're just scrolling along, and that's the kind of setup.
What the hell is this? Tess, what the hell did you find?
They're in the server of the communication server of this facility. There is an enormous trove of anonymous messages. It is unclear which account they were created from. The metadata has been scrubbed, and they're all somewhat cryptic, but appear to be quite personal in nature.
And then, like, the camera sees Caviscado like read with his lips, and it's like, okay, wanting to see you, like meet at the Cafe Dose, and it's like, what I want to do to you. Oh, okay, like let's do. Okay, not for daytime reading. Fantastic.
If I had
The
to
hell.
characterize these Caviscado, I would say it's an entire. Yeah, were they ever sent? Are they what someone wished to say? There's a real depth of emotional intensity to these messages. It appears that whoever wrote them loved very deeply.
And you think this is from? I mean, I know that from here, sometimes. Well, no, I know that Tate has set up some kind of messaging system that for those that come here in desperate circumstances, they'll send messages from this place. Just to make sure that our loved ones know that they're doing okay, or at least they're someplace safe. But
So these are all the messages never sent by the people of this place. Is that your hypothesis?
that is my hypothesis, yeah. But why would they put a draft? Weird.
Perhaps it is clear, as coming here has made me realize that there is much that we might keep to ourselves within our inner worlds that we would wish to say, secrets, and perhaps they say this in a slightly pointed way, secrets that one hides in, say, an abandoned temple that none should see the light of, that should not see the light of day. Perhaps this is another case of memories lost to time that should be deleted, but nevertheless they were intense and they needed to be said. They needed to be there.
That's quite profound, Tess. But you mentioned a secret temple. Is that where you went this whole time?
There was a secret that was discovered, but as I said, some secrets are not for others to know, and it is not for us to question why they have been kept a secret. It is important to simply trust that messages remain in draft form for a reason.
I wonder about that, actually. How many of my thoughts should be in draft form and never ever see the light of day? And sometimes I just shoot off my goddamn mouth and then just let it fly and see what people think as soon as it's said.
Back in the ancient days, there was a system called email that was the precursor of this system, and it was once considered a social faux pas to reply to all senders and with a trivial comment and accidentally share your thoughts too widely. The technology has advanced since then, but the sentiment remains.
I thought that was social media.
I think that was something different. The records are sketchy about that time.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, getting down to like supposedly writing on old fragile things like paper. What? Weird. Um,
One might say, though, that in fact, paper has proved remarkably resilient over time as a form of storage. If we compare it to, say, the great data rot crises of the late 21st century, really, we still have more of paper from those times than we do of data.
that's true. That's so true.
But I think in this case, Caviscado, this is not meant to be retained. These are personal things. And you just see like this line of deleted, deleted, deleted running down the screen. These memories should remain uncommunicated.
They could be long gone too. Just kind of hovering in there, but no way of knowing when they were planning on sending anyway. So might as well just clear the system, clear the cache, and leave enough room for more people to hopefully send what they truly want to say.
Indeed.
Is there anything that you ever wanted to say that you never did, Tess?
I've always wished to confront my creator and ask them why I was created. Alas, I do not know who that is. Perhaps
I,
that is the human condition.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to meet who made me, human or otherwise. Tell him a
I
thing or
think
two.
I think the Tesseract attempts a joke and looks at your bionic arm and says, "Well, in this case, we can see mil spec industrial combine is one of your makers."
Oh, Tess. Oh, glad to see that chip never went away. If you have chips, I don't know. But anyway, glad to see that just remained in there. Or is that something that was learned and nurtured in your time away from us?
One is supposed to make jokes. I have entertained a child today. I thought I would challenge myself.
Good job. And I know I can't pat you on the back, but consider yourself duly praised.
I think that there's a slightly warm glow from the Tesseract as the scene sort of ends.
Nice. Anybody else want to do any moments or anything together?
Oh yeah,
Or
wait, that is right.
yeah, we did not find that one. They found fearsome weapons somewhere, but
Yeah, we haven't done that one.
Yeah, I think I want to do that one.
okay.
We find a means of communicating with the enemy hidden away in an unexpected place. Do do you let me draw the worst conclusion, or believe we are our conclusion, or relieve me of my worst fears? Why? I think after having spent the time with the kids, maybe I noticed that they've been poking around in places, and I noticed like a door that was left open, and maybe as like so me, Asher being like someone who is a little kind of snoops around. I mean, especially here, because it's like I know it's like we're supposed to be recuperating, but it's just not in it really in Asher to sit still. Um, and I think I may have saw some weird and maybe contacted like I think I may like try to demand an explanation from Caviscado.
Oh, I was in 2 in a row already. I think
Oh,
you
okay,
can
that's
go.
fair. I'll do the captain then. That's fair.
Yeah, what did you find?
I think maybe if I like find some back room, I might find like some sort of like portable device that I remember the people from the void having.
Oh.
That's trying. Looks like it's been someone's tried to stash it away here.
Mm. Mm.
Maybe it's
Okay.
like hidden. Maybe it's just in with some old stuff,
Mm.
and so I'll mm, send them like probably use my own method of communication, like mention this to Syrano that I'm seeing this
Huh.
and wanting to get their opinion on it. Like before I like jump the gun on everything, I like
Huh.
try to point it out to the captain.
Yeah. So they have a means of communication with the void. That, wow. I mean, that is I mean, hmm. Hmm. I mean, huh. The thing is, I don't know what's going on with that, actually. I don't know if Caviscado knows that that is here. I know that that is a place that he clearly loves and cherishes and feels very much at home at. So do you think it's been here for a while? Is this a new thing? Is that maybe because someone wants to get does not like him?
I mean, I don't know, but if he called this place a sanctuary,
Hmm.
and if someone's infiltrated this place, uh, what are the chances he doesn't know anything about it?
I mean, I trust Caviscado. He's I do. I trust him. Look, I found something earlier, a cache of weapons. I was like, I'm thinking, well, is that a good thing? But actually, the Tesseract told me maybe should have a little trust in our friend. So maybe we should both have trust in our friend or comrade, and at least talk to him before we. I don't know what would you suggest as a course of action here?
Well, I mean, if he doesn't know what's going on here, I'm not sure how much of a sanctuary this place actually is. Do you trust? I mean, if we're already seeing that you're saying you found something too, and this is like a second strike, are we sure we want to get Russia fitted here? Sure, we can trust the people here. I mean,
I mean, there are pretty harmless explanations for what I found. This though, I mean, communicating with the void. I mean, could it be for something else? I know the void people used something like that, but could that be something different? And we're just jumping to conclusions because we're all nervous, I guess.
I am. Look, we don't have the luxury of assuming everything is going to work out and that our things are a coincidence.
Oh.
Do we?
Yeah, but do we have the luxury of telling people who are, at least now for now, our allies, to telling them that we don't trust them and that they should go Yeah, well, you know what I mean. To go for golf, basically. Can we do that? Is that a good idea? Should we do that? Because I'm not sure that we should do that.
Whatever we do, I'm telling you one thing. I'm gonna make sure the Tesseract gives this place an extra once over when we're done, because
Yeah,
I guess yeah, you're willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think I've had enough. I'm willing to give Caviscado a benefit of the doubt, but it's just not here for no reason. And I'm not. We're on a mission that can't be based on giving everyone the benefit of the doubt.
yeah, I guess you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I don't know where else to go, honestly.
Well, I'll trust that. I'm not going to bring it up. I'm just going to talk to Tesseract and have them give it a once over,
Yeah,
so that they don't have a chance to hide anything that they might be doing.
that
Either
I think is a good idea. Can't be too careful, I guess.
yeah, you can definitely be not careful enough though.
Yeah, I kind of, it's weird. I thought I would be happy that, well, okay, for reasons, I might be happy that Tate is not quite as good as a friend as he might seem, but thinking about that now, that seems a little petty.
Well, probably better that we learned that before something bad happened.
Yeah, I guess.
Because
Yeah,
we definitely could have learned it another way.
yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. And they have a lot of weapons.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep ourselves on guard.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes. We will do that.
I think that's a good place
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
place to finish that scene, but then we're also good about due for a break. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's the one who is, when you're ready to return to the ship, the one who grew the most attached to the sanctuary chooses an ending for the visit.
Ooh.
I feel
Feel
like
like
the Tesseract.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
going to say, because
Yeah.
both of
Yeah.
you, everyone else is disquieted in some way,
Yeah.
whereas I
Yeah.
think it's been a slightly more positive experience. I'm gonna because there's this, because we ended with the secret means of communication, I'm gonna pull the plot point lever and say the enemy will find the sanctuary
Oh man, yeah.
as
No.
our ending.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Che-
Cool.
Also, that's
Fine.
we had Chekhov's weapon cache, so
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Okay.
So but yeah, like that. Maybe after the break we could do that.
So, as someone who is the most attached to the sanctuary, Tesseract, you would pick the ending.
Yes, and I would like to pick the enemy found the sanctuary and we barely evacuate before the enemy tears it apart. And the question is a really good one, which is what great sacrifice do we make to ensure everyone escapes to safety? Because I wouldn't have been cool with all of those people being voided. So that's
Yeah,
an awesome question. And a very nice and sensitive one that I like very much.
exactly. Oof. Oh man.
So I personally like the idea that after all of the distrust and everything, that the two people who showed the most distrust are also the two people who sacrificed to save the people for which they had shown that a little bit of distrust in. If that's okay with y'all, because
Yeah.
I'm fully into like I know last time and when in our failed mission, like one of my qualities is wounded, and part of me is like it would be probably cool if whatever that injury got re-aggravated to the point that I am now like that wound is like bad back in place.
Mm.
So my thought is that whatever wound he had was kind of like uh internal functioning, like maybe like lungs and lung capacity, that sort of thing. And that there's like he's now going to be like wheezing and struggling because
Mm.
he's not able to properly like, breathe from the re-aggravation of whatever support system he had in him.
Oh,
I think.
I
Go
love
ahead,
that.
sorry.
Yeah, because I also was very suspicious, and I also have a condition that is connected to these to the void. So maybe this haunted thing becomes worse while they actually attack. There is an actual attack. I'm not really able to function because I'm really overwhelmed with all these voices in my head. I'm trying to kind of do stuff, but it's kind of I'm working through being shouted at every corner. So I'm a little less efficient than I could be, which is not that much anyway, but
Bless you.
and
Well,
I
maybe
think I, I
you could
think
have
I
been a
think
like early warning thing though, like you were got
Yeah.
overwhelmed
yeah,
by
yeah,
that,
and
but
I
you
also
yeah,
ended up
think
figuring.
Yeah, I
yeah.
like
I
that.
also think I also
Mhm.
think that you're extra traumatized because the void leader for this particular mission against the
Yeah.
sanctuary is your brother.
Oh, yeah. Yes, thank you.
Mm.
Um, for that suggestion. Yes, definitely. And I think someone will have to hold me back from going to him.
Perhaps the way we could set it up is, maybe you we just heard, you do hear the whispers louder and
Yeah,
louder, and then
yeah.
there is like a breach, like there's a
Mm,
portal that opens, and some of these
yeah.
Yeah.
figures start to sort of stride out of, like we've seen them before, like
Mm,
strange, like void-filled individuals, and that's when you see your brother
Yeah.
mm,
amongst them.
Right. But I think this is where it's like, Tate reveals the cache of weapons and such. And um will, like alert Caviscado to everyone like that's here, that's able to, will be taking up arms, and everybody else that cannot, like that is like, in severe recuperation or needs to get out first, like, they'll be helped by the staff. And so there's the other secret passageways that, that uh, weren't discovered and will be used to help funnel people out,
Mm.
even as we're defending the charge to overrun the sanctuary.
And they were ready for something. They had weapons,
Yes.
they had an escape tunnel. It wasn't this, but
Yeah.
and maybe just thinking about what Jonn was just saying about Asher, maybe the way that we escape as well is that somebody detonates the like power cells from all those
Yes.
weapons,
Yes.
and essentially we collapse the other end of the tunnel in, and
Yeah.
that's partially how Asher, it sort of, and maybe it reminds Asher as well of previous sort of wartime, but basically, yeah, that's how we avoid them coming after us, is by literally collapsing that temple in on itself.
Yep.
Yeah,
To prevent the
and that
void.
makes sense because it probably between we got an early warning, we were able to let people know, but we're in a position where I have to pull the captain because they're being hearing the call of the void, and so
Yeah. Actually,
Oh,
so
let's
we're,
oh, I love it that you call it that one, that
pull
hearing the
the
call of the
Oh,
void.
captain
Oh,
that's
yeah.
nice. That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
from hearing the call of the void. Oh man.
I mean, from following the call of the void, honestly,
From
because he hears it.
right.
He's been hearing it for a while.
Right. Oh man. Amazing.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's cool.
And
especially
I
because your
suppose,
brother is leading. Yep.
yeah.
Mhm.
And as well as a very sort of immediate physical and emotional sacrifice, I think,
Mhm.
you know, for Caviscado and for the Tesseract, there was any illusion of normality or respite is also immediately punctured as well. And
Sure.
Yeah.
we can't find refuge. We can't, but we can get to the ship and get the hell out of space dodge.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think I think this is like, if you don't mind, guys, it's like, I think
Mhm.
once we escape onto the ship, I think and it's been retrofitted enough that we can get the fuck away, but we
Mhm.
also make sure that Tate and the others like that were at the sanctuary are at least like in a safer place, so this way they're not, going to be chased by the void the void guard. But I think this is a perfect opportunity, if you don't
Yeah.
mind, Tess, that like as we're on the ship and I'm piloting us out, it's like if you're helping, just making sure that you're monitoring the systems, making sure that the retrofits are holding, and everybody else is just, you know, doing the navigation or checking this, checking the rest of the ship just to make sure we're holding together. But I mean, you're there with me on the bridge, and you can see I'm piloting us out.
Um, can I have just one tiny addition? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Because I think we will can draw these void creatures after us, right? At least as Cyrano can call them to the void, like follow us, and not them.
Well, that's a nice cut, isn't
Ooh.
it?
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, like basically, it's like yeah, moment of, because I want to just kind of like touch on that moment of, let's see, what was it? Hold on. Look at my notes from last time. That moment of closeness from the previous mini game where I gave you the card, just to get that mechanical thing out of the way. And I think as I'm flipping switches or whatever, on the bridge, I think Denali's trying to say something pithy or like something meaningful to you, Tess, and then like we're talking about that whole thing about drafts, things that you want to say, and then you just say it, but you got the draft still sitting there, just kind of like practicing, right? And he's saying all this is like he's trying to steer the ship and like trying to lead the void people away from those at the sanctuary. He kind of just like looks at you from the corner of his eye, Tess, and then says, "I guess maybe Rest in Bones was my version of the draft. I was drafted in a place that I was hoping to get some rest and respite someday. I just really was hoping it wasn't going to get deleted at any point. Just kind of a place to go back to sometime and make it that place that was going to be what I said I was going to do someday." So I don't know if Tessa has any comments on that, but that's what that's the moment of closeness for Caviscado to the Tesseract.
That was your card that you drew, right?
Yeah, that I gave to the
Yeah.
Tesseract. Yep.
I haven't drawn yet, so.
Well, no, this was from before. This is from from
Oh, that
last
was
session.
I
Yeah,
remember.
I haven't drawn a
Sorry.
card yet. Yeah,
No,
I haven't drawn a
I
card
remember. I misunderstood. Yeah, no, I remember you saying that now. So thanks.
yet. Yep. And then so this one now at the end of this mini game, the crew members who visited the sanctuary draw a card face up. Okay. Now I draw a card. Okay. Oh fuck.
Wah
Ugh,
wah.
fuck. All right. So those of us that drew black, if you keep the card, loyalty is regained. You briefly describe what this regained loyalty looks like: a changed relationship, a new belief, a growing hope. If the crew member gives the card to another player, they briefly describe a moment of closeness between them. So I drew a red, so I wait until after you guys with the black
Oh,
cards
God.
go.
That's like 3 reds and a black, isn't it, that we've
Yeah.
drawn?
Yes, I've drawn a red card, and it was an ace. So
Oh, God.
sorry.
Me too. I drew a queen red. Fuck.
I feel like maybe in a sense that 4 of clubs represents the fact that we all know that we weren't the ones hiding the weapons or communicating with the enemy. I think we know it wasn't. We can trust each other now, I think is the way I would see it as a group.
And for those of us that drew the red, the enemy grows stronger. The player describes a brief glimpse of the enemy and how they've become more terrifying. Card is then placed face down on the enemy's pile of cards. Yeah, I think we see, even as some of the forces chase the Gilded Bliss away, I think some of them have remained and have created this weird formation, like a ritual formation, where they have surrounded the resting bones, and like one of them or two of them have discovered the communication device, and we see like a caption like on the bottom of the screen, like saying they're communicating and saying how they had no idea that this led us to them. They thought to capture our technology when they just led us to their stronghold, or whatever they say. And then the rest of them that are outside of the resting bones like do some kind of ritualistic motion, and they all put their hands on the resting bones, and we start seeing like the void effects on the building itself until it shimmers out of place and out of this time.
I've also got a red card. And I think what you can see while this is going on, you can see the person who was formerly Roderick of House Quinlan, um, stepping aside, concentrating, and starts calling. You know what you did. I will find you. You will be one of us before long. I will find you. Who took the last red card? Jonn, you're
Jonn.
muted.
Me. Sorry,
Yeah.
that would be me.
Oh.
So, because I had a lower number, I feel like whatever I described can't be worse than the things that were going.
You cannot think of something worse. I mean, hit us.
Yeah, I think maybe like a subordinate or someone that's a member of Void will like be approaching Syrano's brother, who I can't remember the name we came up for them.
Roderick.
Roderick, and they're asking him how did it go, and he responds with something like their captain's mind is broken. We are sure to succeed now. They have no chance.
He thought the world of himself and Roderick.
So I'm just more of like they feel very confident. Like she, if not for the Asher, we would possess him now. And so then there's probably some sycophantic praise for his success. Yes, that would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling kids.
So it's team 12, enemy 10, I think.
Yeah, enemy has some like high cards though. That's the...
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true. I've forgotten about the value.
Yeah. I'd take the
That just
7
means the
personally.
ending's more fun. I mean, like, more
Okay,
fun
yeah.
tragically. It's fine. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. We
Well,
play bleak games. It's okay.
yeah.
It's okay.
I just noticed there's two fours of clubs. Like we're using like two different decks, right?
Mhm.
Yes, yes.
And
Because
that's
we have an
that's okay, right?
yes, because we have an extended
Okay,
game. So I mean, like
good.
they advise that if you have a game more than
Okay,
two
cool.
sessions, 3 sessions, you should be using 2 decks.
Cool.
So
Okay.
you're good. You're good.
Perfect.
Yeah, yeah. Any ideas for the next mini game?
We probably got room for one, don't we? And then
Yes, one
Yeah.
one more game, and then we can. Oh, and as I had mentioned to Sabine last time, James, you don't necessarily have to pick for yourself and somebody else. You could pick for, like, it's your turn to pick, but you could pick for other people. Like, I would like to see a scene with blah blah blah. So
I did kind of pick the last one though, so
Yeah. I mean, I have a suggestion. I don't know, because I feel like at this moment that maybe Syrano may not be all with us anymore.
no. Which one are you thinking? Oh no.
And so I was thinking like, well, how best could could Cyrano be brought back to us? And I was like, oh, we could have the last time we touched scene to be kind of like
Oh.
trying
that's
to get
nice. That's nice.
Oh, that's
Cyrano's
so
attention
good.
back away from the
Oh,
void.
yeah, I love that. I
Oh,
love that
go for
idea.
it. Go
That
for it.
feels really appropriate.
Yeah.
Nice. Go for it.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to have that with Caviscado at one point, but no
There's
reason
nothing
we can't.
stopping you
No,
from
yeah, no
having
reason not to do that. Yeah, okay.
Well,
yeah.
whatever. I mean, like, did you want it with Caviscado? Did you want it with Asher? What do you want?
I mean, you
Well,
could do both. Just we can. It's fine.
I mean,
What's
that
your
was John's
preference?
idea, so
It
you
does say
choose.
I
two
mean,
or more, so there's nothing
Oh,
stopping you.
okay.
yeah.
So, John, it was your idea, so
I am fine with
What do
any
you
of it.
want to
I
see?
just thought I it's more like I am more the scene seems cool more than anything
Oh,
else.
okay.
So it doesn't matter. I don't really have a preference as to how or who's in it. So,
Be the
but if
director.
you're,
Figure out who's
but
in the
yeah.
scene. Tell me.
Well, since I heard it said that Syrano with Caviscado, I am going to say that's cool. That works. I will do that.
Okay. Okay.
Ooh, nice.
It
All
will
right.
create tension.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm happy to lead this one if you want, Sabine. Just
Yeah,
to. Okay.
yeah, please, because I
I'm
think
trying to think. Okay, so hold on. Let's see. Would it
yeah.
be noticeable? I mean, like, in the tension of the moment, right? We're escaping. We've got the ship, like, breakneck speed, not too breakneck, but essentially getting the fuck away from the the
Mm.
void people in the ship. And finally, we're taking a moment of like, God damn.
I mean, we have a perfect justification because Asher's horribly injured, and the
Yeah.
Tesseract is probably the best person to help
Yeah,
them in
that's
this
true.
moment.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
so we have
Yeah.
a really plausible reason to create
Oh,
a
love
kind of,
it.
if we're talking sort of CFB terms, to create a sort of vulnerable, so it's like a
Yes,
sort of
yes,
slot.
absolutely. Okay, so Tesseract is helping Asher with injuries, with the maintenance of wound,
Maintenance of wound sounds a little technical, but
wound
I mean,
care.
it's the Tesseract, so maybe
Yeah.
it's not
I
that's
have
not wrong.
I think that I survived based on life support,
Yeah,
internal
life
life support
support.
system already from the
Yeah, I
wounds
think
from
yeah,
war.
you're probably in the med bay right now.
Hmm.
Monitored by the Tesseract. I like Caviscado is probably like, finally able to put the ship on autopilot, although he really hates that. They really hate that shit.
Mm.
And then we'll stomp off and find the captain, or like try to look for the captain.
Yeah, the captain's a little. You'd have expected Syrano to be with Asher right at that point
Oh,
because
sure, but I mean, like, I think
but he's
Caviscado
not.
sees, right, but Caviscado sees the condition that Asher is in, and then I
Yeah.
think the Tesseract will tell in very technical terms with a very sympathetic voice, for Tess, of Asher's true condition, like that Asher would probably never admit to, when like, standing up, but I mean, Tesseract's going to tell it like it is, and I think, this is where Caviscado's going to go head over and look for um, the captain. All right,
Yeah.
so the last time we touched, will my feelings finally reach you? Okay. Minigame for 2 or more crew members exploring a moment of uncertain intimacy. When you choose this minigame, choose at least one other character to be in the scene with you, blah, blah. Someone who makes you feel vulnerable and lonely. Others can choose the scene whenever they want. Okay. That may not happen, especially with what's going on.
Mm.
Ask your chosen partner what the present circumstances are. Okay, so what do we think you are?
I think I think we have a viewing deck, I guess. I mean, this was a luxury cruiser, so we probably have a deck where you can look out and see space,
Okay,
basically.
got it.
And I think Serrano is sitting there touching the laser glass or whatever, where you can look out and there's he's just mumbling. It's mostly
Can
like, no, 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 go away, please. I don't know. This is not real. I know this is not real. This is not real. That wasn't my fault. Not really. It wasn't my responsibility. I I'm
I think
sorry.
I mean, I'm just gonna say what Caviscado does, but the player whose character feels the most vulnerable takes the first turn, and I think that would be you.
Yeah,
But
probably.
but I think, like, hearing this, especially if it's getting loud, I think Caviscado will stride over and just be within your space, right? Your
Mhm.
your body space,
Mhm.
watching you and listening to you. So you take the first turn. On your turn, you choose an advance, and
Mhm.
then I will choose an answer and response.
Okay. I think at one point, so Serrano will notice that you are there,
Mhm.
and I think he will reach out to your hand, basically just brushing your fingertips and saying, I don't help me. I don't want to lose this reality to whatever's going on with my head. They're so loud. And I don't want that. I would like to have you in my head and not them, please.
Sorry, there's like so many good things in here, and I'm trying to decide. Uh,
Take your time.
and I think Caviscado will answer, "You may," and says, "Hey, hey, hey! I don't want to lose you to whatever this weird shit is either. Listen to me. You are here. You are with us. You're with me right here, right now. Look at me. Look into my eyes right now. See me."
Yeah.
Oh, and then
I,
I guess I
yeah.
do in advance. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you or do
I don't
I?
know, or I mean, we can just continue onward. Like, it's like, you doing it. Do you answer?
I
I mean,
think
or do
yeah.
you do an advance or whatever? I mean, it's hard to say because, right? I mean,
Mhm.
like, it should be more organic, but I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
what
Yeah.
seems now what seems natural. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I think I'll Syrano will look at your eyes and say, yeah, can I can I touch you? That would be really helpful, I think, because um you're you're always so present and here and in the moment, right? You're not in your head a lot, I think. I hope. I mean, I don't know. Can I touch you, please? And reaches out for you, I think, cheek.
Okay. I okay. Yes. Well, he basically answers yes, and then remains silent, but will put his hand on your hand and then
That's
continue to look at you.
that seems to be helpful as Cernal's breathing. That was very fast. Seems to slow down, at least a little. And he comes and his eyes focus on you. It's not like this manic stare or this panic stare. Before it's just like it's just looking at you. Thanks, that I needed that.
He breathes a sigh. They breathe a sigh of relief, but then they'll remove their hand from yours and then kind of sigh and say, well, sigh, and then basically he'll loosen his like collar, like, he's got like a like his duster, and then just kind of loosen his collar and like open his shirt as if he's like getting hot or whatever. And then he's gonna say, you sounded like you were far away and you were blaming yourself. I don't know what you got going on in there, but just know that we all have something going on, including blame. You don't have to shoulder it all by yourself.
My head. And and he thinks it's all my fault.
Who? Who thinks
Roderick.
that?
Roderick, my brother. We lost. Well, I lost.
I want to touch your cheek and tell you, in a way, how special you are.
Okay. Yeah, you absolutely may. Oh, and I have to I would like for you to say that and then I can respond, right?
I mean, I don't know if he's gonna necessarily. Well, okay, hold on. How would Caviscado do this? Hold on. Caviscado will lift up their hands, right, and lift them up towards your cheeks, like almost in supplication. Is it all right if I hold on to your face? I want you to feel what I'm saying to you here. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
And he reaches and he will touch your face, like, of course, one cybernetic arm and the other one, that one cybernetic hand, the other one, human, and he will bring your face closer to his as he looks at you again with those eyes and says, "Look, your brother's in your head, but you're not your brother. Your brother went over to the void. Are you going to the void because you believe in what he says, what they mean, or because they're trying to draw you in? If if you don't believe what they say, you can resist. You have the power. You can do this. I believe you can.
Okay. I think I will let you touch me for a bit, and I will withdraw and hang my head and say, I know, but I knew he was falling, and I refused to see it and refused to help. And Asher told me about this, and I was just too busy with, I don't guess, myself or whatever. He's my brother. I loved him. And if I can fail him, if I can fail him, how can I not fail you?
Because humans are stupid and fallible, that's why. And he's still holding onto your cheeks. Like, he's right there. He's right close up to you. And it's just because we're stupid and fallible. And we make our choices. Your brother made his choice. I'm here and I've made my choice. Asher's with you and made his choice. Tesseract is up there choosing to help Asher, making their choice. We're here because of you. Do you believe in us? That's a goddamn important question. Do you believe in us?
I think what do I need to do now? Oh yeah. I want to touch you. I will reach out for your ear and bring my face closer to it so I can whisper something to you. And what I'm trying, or what I'm saying is, I will always believe in you, Caviscado. I will never, anything, but I will never lose faith in you.
I think the camera sees, Caviscado's eyes close, and there's a single tear that will roll down his cheek when you say that.
Sorry.
No? I mean, they're actually very impassioned at this moment. Feeling that.
Do we want it to leave at that? Or do we want to take it further?
That's up to you. I mean, I'm not sure.
Because, I mean, if we want to take it further, then I think Syrano would try to draw you in closer.
Sure. Well, I mean, you're pretty damn close. I mean, you've got your lips to their ears. Yeah. So I mean, again, tear rolling down their cheek, and I think you see it.
I think he's not talking. He's not too good with words anyway. I think he will very, very cautiously and in a way that lets you definitely just move your face aside, but he will try to kiss you. As I said, very carefully, and maybe even say, yeah, I think he will say before he does that, can I do that? Is that allowed? Do you, okay.
And then you hear this this rough sigh, and then you the camera will just kind of pan on Caviscado's lips as he simply says, "Of course you can."
He will do that.
Yeah. And then maybe we see a silhouette as we fade to black. Oh
yeah.
no!
Yeah.
Oh, Asher! Oh, Asher!
Oh.
Tension.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
That was fun.
That was so fun. Oh my god. Amazing.
Thanks, Jonn, for suggesting that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Amazing.
Yeah. Cool. That lit really well.
Oh, we need to draw cards, right?
Yeah, I think so. Hold on.
Is there an end game? No, end of the mini game. Just
okay. At any time after the third exchange, hell yeah. Any player may interrupt by
Yeah.
having their character enter the scene. Otherwise, continue your conversation exchanges until you part or draw a curtain on what follows, which we did. Okay, now we have to draw a card face up for everybody that's in the
Oh,
scene.
yeah. Come on.
Fudge.
Card. Be nice. No.
Come on, card. Damn!
Oh, wow.
Shit!
Wow. I mean, we drew all the black cards last time, right?
Yeah, we. Oh, fuck. Okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So.
We drew red, just so the recording knows. It's like we drew red again.
At least it's one of them.
Alright.
At least one of them's a low red. I don't know. I don't think it matters at this point. That deck.
No, the enemy grows stronger yet
Although
again.
that's kind of exciting because that means we're finishing this session at 12 all, and like, I mean, obviously, as we said, the sweep, is but it just kind of feels like a really nice place to finish the session.
Yeah. Okay, so
absolutely.
each player describes a brief glimpse of the enemy and how they become more terrifying. Fuck. Sorry, do you want to go first, Sabine, or you want me to go first? Mine's a jack, so.
Okay, mine's on just the 3, and I think what we see is Roderick again, looking at some point in space, and he's just like, no, what, little brother, I'll let you have this so that you will feel it more when I tear it apart.
Gonna cry.
Sorry.
Okay. I think mine is a little bit more overarching, where I think like we see like void people. It's like almost that they're in an unnamed terminal of some sort, and they're all gathering in some sort of like square for their meeting place or what have you. And there's this large screen that is available, and they're all gathering, and they're all looking up at this screen. And I think as they're looking up at this screen, there is a silhouette of something or someone that comes upon the screen, and we hear the voice. We hear something. It sounds like someone or a bunch of someones speaking all at once and addressing the crowd that is gathering. And they say something like, Soon, the rift will open, and we shall pass through. These little tears have been a test. Testing our metal, testing the efficacy of the portals. But we shall become victorious quite soon, when the forces shall gather in number, and we will invade again. Cuts to black, credits roll, another episode ends, and we're all in despair! Yay!
I'm telling you that Syrano is not in despair right now.
Oh man!
Quite the contrary.
Asher's unconscious and probably has the good drug, so he's not in despair right now either.
Well, okay, Caviscado fairly is probably not in despair either. It's just, I mean, we're not even thinking about the void people right now. We're just, just having some fun. It's all good.
This will not affect our team in an adverse way, so it's fine.
Absolutely not.
We're going to be fine. Everything's fine.
No. In the first game of this that I played, the only other previous game of this that I played, it's like it was the broken, messing about with the Steadfast that was devastating to my captain. So it was kind of like, okay, it's all right. Yeah. It's all right. It's all right. It's all good. All right. So with that, we close out of this particular session, and then we're gonna do some stars and wishes. What do we think? You know the drill. Oh my gosh. Amazing. That was a lot. That was
Yeah.
just only too many games. Oh my god.
I think my star is that was just really beautiful. Like what a
Yes.
nice session. Like there's so much in it, so much emotion. Like what a great job. You know, what so well done everyone. Like
Yes.
really like lovely and just emotionally mean. A lot of depth and yeah, like you said, Mads, 2 games, but like time well spent. I just love that. Like I
Mhm.
got really
Yeah.
love, really nice and really powerful stuff.
Yeah.
And my wish is just to see like keep sort of like seeing how we can use in the future mini games to. I like the continuity's been really strong, and I think you kept it going really well last week. And I just that's my wish. I just want to see how you can keep this going because it's a really good arc, and I love it.
Well, we have 2 more games after this, if I recall my calendar
Mhm.
correctly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, like whatever we can squeeze in before the I mean, obviously once more into the void is going to be the
Mhm.
last. So, we have to
Mhm.
close out the last session with that, I think, before we go into the epilogues. So, but yeah.
But I guess that means that means we can plot it out. I mean, it just means it sort of helps to keep it tight and figure out what to do in the next couple of sessions, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, whatever we haven't played yet, it's like, let's like
Mhm.
try to push it for next session. And then maybe 1 or 2 more before once more into the void, because it feels to me, if I remember correctly, once more into the void was pretty technical because it was like, a lot of comparing enemy cards with what we had and then drawing of cards and all this kind of stuff. So, we'll get through all that for the last session, but for next session, it's just a matter of like figuring out what we want to play to round out our characters and finish out the narrative. So, yeah.
I can hardly point out any specific stars. It was also good. I mean, everything was just like wow. So on point. I love the Tesseract interacting with the children and Asher like pushing the Tesseract to interact with, or pushing the Tesseract to interact with the children. That was really great touch. And yeah, I mean, I loved all of it.
Any wishes?
Oh, wishes. Uh, no more of the same, I guess. Yeah.
Kiddo?
I hope that Asher will be with us next time, despite his injury. So.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought the scene with the Tesseract interacting with the kids was pretty. I liked that. Like getting to feel like that touch of humanity, especially when they were nervous about if they were even capable of it. I thought that was really cool. Um, the both of the captain and Asher finding places that to be suspicious of
Mhm.
the place, and I thought that worked out pretty good because both of them came into that conversation with suspicions, but both of them kind of had gone in different directions on what to make of all those suspicions. So having that conversation talked out, I thought that was really a good, cool moment. Um, Definitely. I mean, I suggested it, so of course I thought it was amazing to see the two, one being out of sorts and the other person trying to support them, and it leading to like a really like touching moment, and that interaction was super good. Even though also I hate it because of Asher. I'm playing Asher, but yeah, it was still that does not make it any less good. So yeah, so those were definitely my stars. Um, I guess wishes is like now it's just like I feel like there has to be something that comes from that. I don't know what. I don't know how it plays out or where it goes, but I just feel like something. I mean, that can't just happen, and that can't be like a dangling plot thread. I feel like, but I don't know what will come from it. But yeah, that's cool. I look for it to see what comes from that. Yeah, juicy drama.
And
So
we love the drama.
we sure do. Love it so
Love.
much we do it twice a day.
Oh my gosh, that's your own damn fault. It's like you want to come into a lot of dramatic games. That's on you. But I will say that I do love this game a lot, and as always, it's like Rae does some fantastic writing, which allows people to really embody, what they what they read and what they interpret for this stuff. So it makes it very easy to do this and make all the drama. So yeah, had a lot of fun today. Just doing uh, the building it together. Like some of the scenes were just like really, really rich with character moments, and we got to see a lot of how we interact as crew and with the captain, and then of course that scene with Caviscado and the captain for the touching part. It's like, I mean, we kind of got a glimpse of that when we were back at the sanctuary, back at Resting Bones, but then here we just really got into it, and it was almost like, well, I mean, like if anybody was like shipping this, yeah, like having this ship, then they were eating well for that particular scene. So yay. Yeah, more of the same, and I enjoy, I await the fallout for when Asher wakes up, and if there's consequence, there's probably consequence. There's always consequence for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be fun. So yeah, let's take a look at whatever's left that we want to embody, and yeah, look forward to the last couple of sessions, and then round this out. This is again so much fun. I really enjoy this game a lot, and yeah, let's see these characters. Oh my god, this enemy. Oh god, it's killing me. So I mean, like, yeah,
Yeah.
start definitely to all of our descriptions of like how bad it's getting. Jesus.
We're getting to the point where they're already running victory laps before we even engage.
Seriously, oh my god. And we're just making it worse. They're just piling on, and it's fine. But I mean, it's not fine for our characters. It's just, oh my god, we
Like,
just
how does
know.
it get worse? How does it get worse? You see them do a high five like in sports. Like, we got this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty bad. It's all good. So
we still can win, maybe, possibly, perhaps.
we'll see.
Fine.
We'll see.
I
Yeah.
played too much trophy. I don't know. We could just
Yeah,
play
right.
this. It's fine.
I'm just trying to soothe my poor character.
Yeah. No. It's fine. But I will point out, James, like the first time I ran trophy with you in my crew for trophy, it's like your character survived, and you decided, no, he wasn't. So I just want to point that out.
I manually, yeah. I
Yeah,
remember that.
yeah, I remember it too.
Yeah. I had a character get field promoted, so I guess I can't really complain. Like, yeah, you're now the queen here. I'm going to enjoy your happily ever after with your family. Peace out, deuces. Like what?
Oh my god.
Yeah, now you're
So
the
happy.
slave to this now, and
Oh
I'm
my
enjoying
god.
life.
Oh man. So yes, yeah, we're used to despairing and bleak. It's all good. It's all good. So you guys have a wonderful week despite this. Happy gaming, and I will see you for next time. Yay!
Bye, everyone.
Yeah,
Bye.
see
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.